Hi guys and welcome back, it's Amanda. In this video I'm going to be sharing one of the more crazier experiences that I've had while working in the portrait studio. This particular story, apparently a woman was in labor during her session and we didn't know it. So without further ado, let's get on into it. Okay, so to preface the story a little bit, what you have to understand is that it is our studio policy that you come in, you check in, you take your photos, we upload the photos and create with you, and then you choose your photos and you purchase them that same day. It's policy, it has to be done. If for any reason those are not done, you don't get your photos. And it's particularly that last one that people seem to have a hard time with. They always want to try to leave and come back and view their photos another day, and we can't do that. We cannot guarantee that your photos will still be there, that if you come back, if we shut down the system at the end of the night, if you haven't already ordered them, we can't guarantee that they'll still be there. And it's just policy that you purchase your photos the same day that you take them. So this lady, she comes into the studio, she's there for a maternity session, and she has all of her kids with her. I didn't see a husband or a boyfriend or anything, I just saw her and all of her little kids. She probably had 6 other kids with her. I was not the photographer at this particular point in the day. I was working the sales aspect and was helping people view their photos, choose their package, and then ringing people out at the front. I'm not really even 100% sure who the photographer was that day, but I remember it was her turn. It wasn't even that busy. They weren't really waiting around that much, but she came in, she checked in, has all of her little kids. She goes in for her session. She didn't have to wait that much. Like I said, it wasn't really that busy. And she goes in and she has her photos taken, and then she comes out and she says, how long is the wait till I get to view them? And I said, well, she should be uploading them right now, probably about 15 minutes. You can wait here, or you can, if there's something out in the store that you want to or in the mall that's right there, feel free to go walk around and then come back in about 15-20 minutes. And she said, okay. So she left. I don't know if she went to walk around or maybe she just went back to the waiting room because I didn't see her again. I don't know where she went. But after a little while, at some point, her photos are up there to view. And so her photographer must have come out and set her up to view and then gone back, because I didn't do that. At some point, she's just viewing her pictures. She's selecting the ones she likes. I went over there. I'm checking on everybody, making sure that everybody's okay, if they need any help choosing their packages. And this particular lady said, no, I don't need any help. I'm just choosing my favorite ones. And I said, okay, great. I leave, I'm helping other people, I'm checking other people out, and she comes up to the counter and she says, I'm ready. So I go over there and we're having a conversation about which ones are her favorite, which package would work better for her, all that jazz. And pretty soon she's just like, you know what, can I just leave and come back and pick these out another day? And I said, I'm really sorry, but it's our studio policy that you have to order them the same day that they were taken, because we can't guarantee that they'll still be here if you come back. And she kind of rolled her eyes at me. She kind of was getting irritated. She started snapping at her kids. And she was like, fine, I don't have the patience for this. I'm just going to take 2 photos and we're going to leave. I don't even want a package. So I went ahead and I helped her choose those 2 photos that she wanted. And I said, are you sure that you don't want any more? They're all really cute. You can get them all with the digital file or with this package right here. Giving her all of her options. And she flat out turned to me and said, no. I said I want 2. I'm done. I'm leaving. And I was like, okay, that's not a problem. I'll order your 2 pictures and I'll meet you right over at the register. And we get all the way over to the register. I'm ringing her out. I give her her total and she's kind of like, yeah, whatever. Just hurry up. And I was like, okay. She didn't seem like this when she checked in, but she was really in a hurry to just leave. And I hand her a receipt and everything, and she grabs on to the counter, and she closes her eyes and she's just breathing. And I was like, ma'am, are you okay? Do you need anything? Can I help you with anything? And she lifts her head up and she looks at me and she goes, I have been in labor since I've gotten here. I just wanted to come back another day to pick out my photos because I have to go to the hospital. And in that moment I was like, okay, that's something that you could have communicated to us when you checked in. We could have probably gotten you through a lot faster. You probably could have just prepaid for a package, therefore flagging your file to make sure, meaning that the order was being processed so that your photos wouldn't go missing. That's always a thing, and that's something you could have communicated with us before now. Like, everything probably could have gone a lot more smoothly. You probably could have gotten a prepaid package and everything, and you could have been out of here like a half hour ago. So then fast forward maybe like 3 or 4 weeks. Yeah, it was probably about a month. Fast forward, we got a phone call from another studio, one of the other studios in the area, calling for a membership transfer. So we asked for the number, we asked for the name, we look it up, and I see that it's her. She had taken that newborn little baby that she was in labor with in our studio to a different location to have the newborn photos done, which is fine, like, it's not a big deal. But as I'm on the phone with the other studio, they said they just wanted to know, like, what was wrong with her experience, because I guess she went into that studio saying that we were very rude to her, that we were not very accommodating, that we wouldn't let her talk, that we wouldn't let her do whatever she wanted. I guess she had a whole list of reasons as to what happened, and I recognized her because I pulled up her file and saw her photos there, and I told her what happened, and she was like, oh, that's interesting. She said she's never going back there, and I was like, well, I mean, if she had told us that from the beginning, we would have been accommodating. And she was like, yeah, I mean, that makes sense. Like, nobody's mad at anybody except for the lady who came in, and really, it all could have been avoided if she had just communicated that to us upon check-in or at some point in the middle of the session, not at the end. So she is now going to other studios because apparently we cannot accommodate her and we cannot read her mind to know that she is in labor during her session and the whole process. But then, fast forward even more, probably about 6 months later. Yeah, 6 months later, her photos are still in our studio, ready to be picked up. And I had forgotten about them, everybody in the studio had forgotten about them. And this guy comes in, he's like, I just need to pick up some photos. And I asked for the name, asked for the order number, you know, all that stuff so I could find them. And I pull them out and I open up the envelope to show them, and I recognize them. And I was like, oh my gosh, these were forever ago. And he was like, yeah, she had the baby in the parking lot when she left. Oh. Okay. And he goes, yeah, she was in labor while she was here, and she didn't have a great experience, so she left, and she could feel the baby starting to come out in the car. She goes straight to the hospital. She had the baby like 2 hours after she left. And I was like, oh, well, congratulations. And he goes, yeah, thanks. We won't be bringing the baby here. And walks away. So yeah, apparently there's a lady who came in for photos into our studio who was in labor the entire time, didn't tell us, and then now we're the bad guys because we didn't know and we couldn't accommodate her for what she needed. So, little friendly tip out there for anybody who's going into any photo session, for a maternity session. If you're starting to have contractions or you're going into labor, let your photographer know, let the people who work there know. I promise you, as long as they're decent people and they're doing their job correctly, they're going to accommodate you. They're going to say, okay, let's do it this way, let's do it this way. Here's your photos, let's prepay, let's get you out so you don't have to be here. That's how it'll work, and it'll be fine. Just be communicative. Be communicative, and everything will just work out a lot better. So yeah, that story just always kind of makes me giggle every time I think about it. Like, in the moment I was like horrified, but now when I look back on it, I'm like, okay, that was actually kind of funny. Lesson learned for next time, I guess. And if you liked this video, please make sure you give it a big thumbs up, and please consider hitting the subscribe button down below so you don't miss out on any more of my videos. And please leave me a comment if you've ever been in a similar situation, if you've gone into labor in a public place or anything like that, or any of your favorite customer service stories. I would love to hear them, and I'll see you guys again next time.